Bleach episode 7 may have given us the best intro of the series so far. It's just beautifully animated, and the music, cinematography, everything about this intro was hard. Unaligned Mouth Grenadier, thank you so much for joining me. Bleach 1000-Year Blood of War Arc episode 7. Let's just get straight into it. Like, comment and subscribe, please. I need it. So as I said before, this intro, it showcases the first generation of the 13 Court Gods squads as they go against the Quincy invasion from 1,000 years ago. And it is just a bloodbath. These captains just cut through all the Quincy's like it is nothing. Like they are just flies in the wind. We're talking just absolutely no mercy whatsoever. You can see why all the Quincy's are peed at this point in the story. It was just no mercy whatsoever. Even Lieutenant Sasakibe, who was there, he hid amongst the bodies and stabbed Ywhach in the back. This unit was savages. We need CJ the Champ to make a video on him, talking about this was the original Black Force Energy group. I'm telling you, this group was wiped out by the 13 Court God squads. I really want there to be like a pre-sequel to this, just to see who they are. I know one of them's a Kenpachi, one of them's Yamamoto, one of them's going to be a Kuchiki, one of them's going to be, I don't know, but they all look interesting and they all look like savages, I'm telling you. And so we get into the episode and it's just like this really quick flashback of Shunsui, who is the captain of Squad 2 maybe? I can't remember. But he's like a child in this and he sees a picture of Yamamoto and it's just him erupted in flames. And he's in this guy's room and the guy's scolding him, saying, "What are you doing in here? You're not supposed to be in here." And so he's saying, "Look, I know you like this picture, but this picture is of a monster and he came when he was needed. And if he was to ever come again, I pray I won't be there." And then does this nice transition to just Yamamoto's body cut in half, sliding off each other. Yamamoto is dead. Killed by Ywhach after he laid that trap in the last episode. Ywhach is just lecturing him at this point. But before that, we see all the captains just noticing that Yamamoto is dead. Especially Shunsui, modern day Shunsui, as he yells out in anguish only to be shot by one of the stern ritters. So this suggests that maybe their relationship goes further, you know? Because the way he refers to Yamato is old man Yamato, which is something like it's a term of endearment. You see it in like Yu Yu Hakusho, Naruto, old man, fairy tale. It's just like, you know, how the young refer to like the older male characters. So it must be something to do with like a bond they share, or maybe Shunsui was like a student of Yamamoto, but there's much more going on. And so Ywhach is just basically being a drill rapper now, and he's just disrespecting Yamamoto. He's stepping on his head. He's mentioning how you become soft and weak, how we didn't quantify you as one of the 5 special threats. And then he goes into this basically monologue mode where he talks about how savage the original 13 Court Guards were and how you guys achieved peace, but peace times made you weak. And then he says this hard line of, so it's a rebuttal to what Yamamoto said in the last episode, basically saying, today the Soul Society perishes, but the 13 Court Guard squads died thousands years ago with us, before he just blows apart the body. He even cusses Yamamoto saying, well, why didn't you get Orihime to heal your arm? So Ywhach has been watching the events of the Bleach anime from the very beginning. So this begs the question, what are the 5 threats? I could guess it's probably Ichigo, because he had him locked away. It's Aizen, because he visited him in prison. It's probably Orihime, because her healing is otherworldly. So that leaves 2. What could the other 2 be? We don't know. He never says it. And so he tells, he's second in command. We get his name now, Hashvolt. He tells the other Sternritters it's time. Crush everyone. Kill everyone. And so they summon their foot soldiers known as soldats. That's what they're called, soldats. And they just go around killing everything. These Shinigamis never stood a chance. What you have to realize is Shinigami don't deal with threats like Quincy's on a regular basis. They deal with like hollows, they deal with like monsters. So to face a humanoid threat is something new to these Shinigamis. But they just get massacred, completely whitewashed by these soldats. And Ichigo, he's in the Garaganta now, and he's just watching all these souls disappear right in front of his eyes. And he finally managed to break out of the prison. Finally. And he leaves the Garganta with the help of the science Shinigami, only for him to pass out because he was being shot with arrows as he was trying to open up the doorway for Ichigo. And so this Sternritter, he starts talking mad trash. He's like, I'm Shaz Domino, and I don't know who you are, but don't worry, and then Ichigo just cuts right through him and passes through him like he's nothing. All the Sternritters notices his spiritual pressure as he enters, and they're just like, who the hell is this guy? They're just shocked by whoever Ichigo is. And so Ichigo, he goes high in the sky and he just sees bodies everywhere. They are just littered everywhere. It's just bodies and fires and blood. The Shinigami never stood a chance. And so he meets up with Byakuya. Byakuya is still bleeding out, and Byakuya goes on his speech. He asks about Renji and Rukia. He talks about how he is a, captain, and he let his men down, and his whole squad has been killed. He couldn't protect them. He couldn't protect Renji and Rukia. And he tells Ichigo, please protect the Soul Society. And it's quite sad to see him in this form, to see him all battered and bloodied and just basically whimpering. Because keep in mind, in previous episodes, not even episodes, seasons, he was very stoic, very high, very just like stush, never showing emotion, never showing that he cared. And now he's been reduced to this sort of guy watching everything he loved dies. It's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Ichigo doesn't say anything, but he is pissed. And you could tell because his spiritual pressure is just going crazy. And so Ywhach and Ashfork, they make to leave, but Ichigo manages to meet face to face with him before he does so. And so Ichigo, he asks Ywhach point blank, are you the leader of the enemy? And Ywhach firstly laughs this off. And he's like, yes, I'm the leader. And Ichigo's like, bet, fine, we about to do this then. Ywhach, he questions his motivations. Why are you willing to fight me? You're bloodied, you're beaten up, you're bruised. Why would you come fight me now? But Ichigo doesn't care, and it starts this beautiful fight scene between the two. They're just exchanging blows, dodging, countering, but Ywhach overpowers Ichigo quickly, fairly quickly. And so he knocks him down, and it looked like he stabs Ichigo in the throat. He tells Hashfault to pick him up, but Ichigo, surprisingly, looks like he uses blocked vyen, which is that Quincy defensive technique. He uses a Quincy defensive technique, and this catches Ywhach by surprise. He's like, how is this possible? What is going on here? And so he explains that putting him in the jail made by Sternritter J must have fused the reactor between the Sternritter and Ichigo, thereby awakening his dormant abilities. And he mentions that only Quincy's can escape the cage. And he also mentions that you must have gotten it from your mother. We'll come back to that. And so he uses a technique called Qual Reese, which crushes Ichigo into this sort of like rock tomb, similar to like Gaara from Naruto when he does that sand burial technique. And it basically gets the job done. And so what happens is, before he can like take Ichigo, this pool starts to open up without his permission, and the second in command explains that it's time to go. We spent too long outside the Scatterbereich. Lots of German. And Ywhach basically says that Aizen must have messed with his time perception, so he agrees, fine, let's go. And all the Quincy's start to leave. They start to go back to where they came from, leaving this bloodied mess behind. And Ichigo, he gets up and tries to attack Ywhach, but Hashfault breaks his sword. And as they're leaving, Ywhach calls him his son born in the dark. So much questions. Was Ichigo's mama Quincy? Does Ywhach know about Ichigo's dad? Does he know about Ichigo's hollow side? Does he know about Aizen's experimentation with Ichigo? So many questions. Was this why Ichigo's mom was killed? Was this why Ichigo's dad wanted nothing to do with the Soul Society? So many questions. We're gonna have to wait and see on the live mouth Canadian. Thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.